The plane was tense the moment she stepped on board. A young black teen, full of excitement for her first solo trip, suddenly found herself at the center of a shocking confrontation. What started as an ordinary flight quickly turned chaotic when an air marshal singled her out, behaving aggressively and leaving the crew frozen, unsure how to respond. Passengers watched in disbelief as the situation escalated, tension crackling in the cabin like electricity. Little did anyone know, this wasn't just any passenger they were dealing with. The teen's father, a powerful CEO known for his decisive presence and no-nonsense reputation, was about to arrive on the scene, and when he did, the atmosphere shifted instantly. Eyes widened, hearts raced, and the crew realized they were facing someone who could change everything in an instant. As the teen struggled to stay calm, the plane felt smaller, every heartbeat echoing with fear and anticipation. Questions raced through everyone's minds. How did it come to this? What would her father do? And could anyone stop what was about to unfold? The answers were just moments away, but no one could predict the storm that was about to hit the cabin. The teen's journey wasn't just another flight. It was meant to be a step toward independence, a chance to explore the world beyond home. She had planned every detail, from her favorite book tucked in her bag to the playlist that would keep her calm. But the moment she encountered the air marshal, it became clear that this trip would test more than her excitement. It would test her courage. The crew, trained to handle emergencies, seemed paralyzed. Whispers passed between them, their eyes darting nervously from the marshal to the teen. Something about the way he acted didn't feel right, and the passengers could sense it too. Anxiety hung heavy in the air, thick enough to touch. Meanwhile, the teen's father, miles away, had been alerted immediately. Known for his influence and fast action, he didn't hesitate. Employees scrambled to keep him updated, knowing that his arrival could change the entire scenario. But what exactly he planned to do, and how the air marshal would react, was anyone's guess. Every second stretched longer than the last. The teen gripped her seat, trying to remain composed, but her mind raced with fear and questions. The tension on the plane wasn't just about what was happening now, it was about what was about to come, and no one could predict who would control the outcome. The air on the plane grew heavier with every passing minute. Passengers shifted uneasily in their seats, stealing glances at the young teen and the air marshal, whose rigid posture and sharp tone made everyone tense. Some tried to whisper reassurances to one another, while others quietly reached for their phones, hoping to capture proof in case the situation spiraled further. From the teen's perspective, every gaze felt like a judgment, every movement a potential threat. Fear mixed with frustration as she realized the normal rules of air travel didn't seem to apply to her. The crew tried to maintain calm, but their uncertainty was visible. Flight attendants exchanged nervous looks, debating whether to intervene or wait for authority. The captain's voice over the intercom was steady, but the slight tremor betrayed his concern. Each moment felt like a countdown, an invisible timer ticking toward an unknown climax. Meanwhile, back on the ground, her father's team was already in motion. Messages flew between his assistants, security teams, and airline contacts, creating a web of urgency that mirrored the chaos in the air. Unknown to the passengers, this wasn't just a personal matter, it had implications for everyone on board. Every angle, from legal consequences to public attention, was being calculated, but the teen only felt the immediate pressure. Time seemed to slow as tension coiled tighter, leaving the cabin on the brink of an explosive confrontation. With everyone waiting for the first move that could change everything, the tension in the cabin reached a nearly unbearable level. Every passenger sat frozen, some gripping their armrests as if holding on could shield them from the unfolding chaos. The air marshal's eyes never left the teen, his voice low and sharp, commanding attention and fear simultaneously. Even the crew, trained for emergencies, seemed paralyzed, unsure if they should confront him or follow protocol. The teen's heartbeat pounded in her ears, each thump echoing the anxiety rippling through the plane. She wanted to speak, to explain herself, but words felt impossible. Around her, murmurs grew, the whispers of other passengers blending into a tense hum of collective unease. Every second stretched longer, each movement scrutinized. Outside the plane, her father was already in motion. Security teams and airline officials scrambled to prepare for his arrival, aware that his presence alone could shift the balance of power. He was known for acting decisively, and his reputation preceded him. People who underestimated him quickly learned otherwise. As the plane continued its journey, the stakes climbed higher. The teen's fear, the crew's hesitation, and the air marshal's intensity created a perfect storm. Every passenger sensed the breaking point was near, yet no one could predict what would happen first. A confrontation, an intervention, or an unexpected twist that would leave the cabin changed forever. Just when the cabin seemed to teeter on the edge, a new complication erupted. The air marshal, already tense and unpredictable, suddenly received a message on his radio. His eyes flicked toward the teen, but something in his expression changed, confusion mixed with urgency. Passengers noticed the shift, whispers growing louder as anxiety spread like wildfire. The sense that no one was fully in control became undeniable. From the teen's perspective, it felt like the stakes doubled in an instant. She had thought the confrontation was already unbearable, But now there was a layer of uncertainty no one could anticipate. The crew's frozen stance deepened as they caught sight of the air marshal's tight jaw and rigid posture. Something was coming, something that could escalate the situation beyond anyone's imagination. Meanwhile, her father's team, tracking the events in real time, sensed an unexpected turn. Plans that had seemed straightforward suddenly required recalibration. The possibility that more than one threat was unfolding in the air added weight to every decision they made, every call they placed. Passengers could feel the tension spike, hearts racing, breaths quickening. The teen clutched her bag tighter, knowing that what was about to happen would either change everything or push the situation to an edge no one could step back from. The cabin was a pressure cooker, ready to explode at any moment. Leaving everyone bracing for a moment that would redefine the flight entirely, the cabin erupted the moment the plane's doors opened at the next stop. Her father stormed in, his presence immediately commanding the attention of everyone on board. The air marshal froze, caught between authority and the overwhelming force of someone who clearly would not tolerate misconduct. The teen's fear mixed with relief as her father approached, his calm but powerful demeanor filling the space, leaving no room for defiance. Passengers watched in stunned silence. As the air marshal was confronted with the reality of his actions, her father's words were measured but sharp, exposing the truth of what had happened and making it clear that accountability was unavoidable. The crew, relieved, yet still shaken, finally began to breathe easier, knowing that the immediate threat had been neutralized. The teen felt a wave of gratitude and awe, realizing that her father's influence had saved her in more ways than one. Just as the tension seemed to dissolve, a new surprise hit the cabin. Another passenger, previously quiet and unnoticed, stepped forward with evidence captured on their phone, revealing an angle that no one had anticipated. Suddenly, the story wasn't over the consequences, and attention would extend far beyond this flight, drawing the teen, her father, and the crew into a web of scrutiny and questions that no one could ignore. The plane's atmosphere shifted from fear to anticipation, leaving everyone wondering what would unfold next in this shocking, high-stakes saga. After the unexpected evidence surfaced, the airline immediately launched a thorough investigation. The air marshal was suspended pending review, and the crew received praise for maintaining composure under intense pressure. Passengers, once tense and fearful, shared quiet conversations about what they had witnessed, many expressing admiration for the teen's bravery and her father's decisive action. The teen, still shaken but safe, reflected on the ordeal. She realized that courage wasn't just about standing up in the moment hit, was about trusting the people who cared for you and staying composed under pressure. Her father stayed close, offering comfort while also reminding her that the experience, though terrifying, was a lesson in resilience and awareness. The two shared a quiet smile, a moment of connection after the storm. News of the incident spread quickly, highlighting the importance of accountability, respect, and the power of intervention in tense situations. Social media buzzed with support for the teen and discussions about how such confrontations could be prevented in the future. As the plane finally continued its journey, a sense of calm replaced the fear. The story left a lasting impression on everyone involved, showing that courage, quick action, and standing up for what's right can change the outcome of even the most intense conflicts. The teen looked out the window, hopeful for the future, stronger and wiser than before.